Welcome to the future.
Welcome to 1337, the future of podcasts of longevity. I'm Max, your host exploring the science of living longer.
And I'm Sophia, diving into health hacks and ageless living tips. We're here to uncover the secrets to a vibrant, extended life.
All right, Sophia, today we're diving deep into the world of algae and longevity.
Yeah,
specifically, we've got research and insights from two experts with wildly different approaches.
Okay, so who are these experts?
Well, on the one hand, we've got Dr. Catharine Arnston, founder of Energy Bits, who's all about the power of spirulina and chlorella.
Okay.
And then we have Dr. Sandra Kaufmann, a longevity expert who embraces both pharmaceuticals and lifestyle interventions.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty diverse range of approaches.
It is.
Yeah.
And get this, she's even been known to enjoy a Diet Coke and cupcake now and then.
Diet Coke and longevity. Okay, now I really need to hear more about that.
I know, right? It's not exactly what you expect from a longevity expert. But before we get to Dr. Kaufmann, let's unpack Dr. Arnston's world of algae.
Okay, sounds good.
You know, I used to be pretty skeptical about all those, superfoods.
Yeah, I get it. I was in the same boat for a while. It all just sounded a bit too good to be true.
Right. But I've got to say, the science behind algae is pretty compelling.
What is it about algae that's so special for longevity?
Well, both Dr. Arnston and biohacking guru Dave Asprey, you know him.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Dave Asprey.
Yeah, so they both emphasize how algae goes beyond basic nutrition.
Okay, so it's more than just getting your vitamins and minerals.
Exactly. They're talking about impacting cellular health, especially those tiny powerhouses within our cells, the mitochondria.
Right, mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cells.
Yeah, they're responsible for producing energy in our cells, and we all know that as we age, our energy levels tend to, dip.
So are you saying that algae can help keep those mitochondria humming?
That's exactly what they're saying. Spirulina in particular is loaded with this potent antioxidant called SOD, or superoxide dismutase.
SOD, okay.
Yeah, think of it like a bodyguard for your mitochondria, protecting them from damage.
So it's like an internal shield for those little energy factories.
Exactly. And the more protection they have, the better they function.
Which means more energy for us.
Right. It's not just about getting your vitamins and minerals. It's about protecting the very mechanisms that power your cells.
I'm starting to see why you're so intrigued by this, but there's something about raw spirulina being better, right? I remember reading something about that.
You're right. Heat can actually damage that delicate SOD enzyme. So opting for raw spirulina ensures you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Makes sense. Get the most out of those antioxidants.
Dr. Arnston even shared this story about a woman with Alzheimer's who experienced significant cognitive improvements.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, within 24 hours of resuming her raw spirulina intake after forgetting to take it for a few days.
That's incredible. If something as simple as adding raw spirulina to your diet could have that kind of impact, it's definitely worth exploring.
Right. Okay, so we've got these tiny powerhouses, the mitochondria, and they're vital for energy production. But how does that translate into real-world benefits?
Well, think of it this way. The healthier your mitochondria are, the better equipped your cells are to perform their functions.
Okay, I'm following you.
This means everything from sharper thinking and better memory to balanced hormone production and even a stronger defense against age-related diseases.
So it's not just about feeling more energetic, it's about potentially slowing down the aging process at a cellular level. I'm starting to see why you're so intrigued by this.
Oh, absolutely. But how do we know if our mitochondria are actually functioning well? Are there tests we can take?
There are specific tests that can measure mitochondrial function. And Dr. Arnston actually conducted a clinical trial using one developed by Dr. H. Patel from UC San Diego.
Interesting. And what were the results?
What's remarkable is that after just 7 days of taking Energy Bits spirulina, participants showed dramatic improvements in their mitochondrial function.
Wow, 7 days.
Yeah, Dr. Patel even compared these results to those seen in a 3-month intermittent fasting trial.
7 days versus 3 months, that's huge. It seems like spirulina is giving those mitochondria a real boost.
It really does. But wait, I remember reading something about spirulina having a compound that might fight cancer.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of phycocyanin. It's the blue pigment found exclusively in spirulina.
Right, phycocyanin. So does it actually fight cancer?
Well, the research is still in the early stages, but phycocyanin has shown potential in boosting energy production and may even have the ability to selectively target and destroy cancer cells.
So it's like a double whammy, supporting healthy cells and potentially fighting off unhealthy ones.
It's a fascinating area of research for sure.
Now, we've been talking a lot about spirulina, but what about chlorella? How does that fit into the picture?
Both spirulina and chlorella are types of algae, but they offer distinct advantages.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Spirulina is like the Energizer bunny, boosting brain function and vitality.
Yeah.
Chlorella, on the other hand, excels at detoxification, promoting gut health, and helping your body get rid of toxins.
Ah, so they work together as a dynamic duo, supporting your health from different angles.
Precisely.
It's like a 1-2 punch for longevity.
Exactly. And Dr. Arnston even mentioned that NHL players use both spirulina and chlorella for pre- and post-game performance and recovery.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. The combination seems to provide both an energy boost and a detoxification benefit.
Makes sense. Natural performance enhancer.
Exactly.
But hold on a second. I recall Dave Asprey raising a concern about potential microcystin contamination in spirulina. Isn't that a type of toxin?
You're right to be cautious. Microcystin is a toxin produced by some blue-green algae, and it can contaminate spirulina if it's not sourced carefully.
So how do we know if our spirulina is safe?
Reputable brands, like Energy Bits, grow their spirulina in pristine, controlled, freshwater environments.
So they're taking steps to avoid that contamination.
Exactly. And they use low-temperature drying to preserve those delicate enzymes and nutrients.
It sounds like they're really committed to quality and safety.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is all incredibly fascinating. But I'm dying to hear about this Dr. Kaufmann and her, Diet Coke-loving approach to longevity.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely got a unique perspective. What's fascinating about Dr. Kaufmann is her incredible knowledge of aging pathways.
Aging pathways.
Yeah, she has a deep understanding of how our bodies age at a cellular level, and more importantly, how we can potentially slow down or even reverse that process.
Okay, so she's not just focused on the symptoms of aging, but the underlying mechanisms.
Exactly. And she's not afraid to think outside the box.
Well, the Diet Coke and cupcakes are certainly evidence of that.
Right. But here's the thing. She doesn't advocate for an unhealthy lifestyle.
So how does she reconcile those indulgences with her longevity goals?
She's all about finding a sustainable balance. She uses her knowledge of aging pathways to strategically mitigate the potential negative effects of those indulgences.
So it's not about deprivation. It's about being smart and strategic. I like that. So tell me more about her approach.
Well, she's developed this framework called the 7 Tenants of Aging, which provides a comprehensive and actionable way to understand and address the aging process.
The 7 Tenants of Aging. Interesting.
Yeah. So let's say, hypothetically, you're about to dig into a big sugary dessert.
Okay, I can relate to that.
We know that excessive sugar can speed up aging, right? But Dr. Kaufmann has a specific set of supplements and pharmaceuticals she recommends to minimize those negative effects.
Oh, okay, you've got my attention.
Yeah.
Let's hear about this anti-sugar arsenal. What's she recommending?
Well, first, she'd likely recommend a carb blocker, like a carbose.
A carb blocker, okay.
Yeah, it works by inhibiting the enzymes that break down carbohydrates in your gut, which helps prevent a rapid surge in blood sugar.
So it's about slowing down the absorption of sugar.
Exactly. It helps prevent those sharp spikes that we know can be harmful.
But what happens to all that undigested sugar then?
That's where SGLT2 inhibitors come in.
SGLT2 inhibitors.
Yeah, they essentially act like bouncers, escorting that excess sugar right out of your body. They work by blocking the reabsorption of glucose in your kidneys so the sugar gets flushed out through your urine.
Wow, so it's a two-pronged approach, blocking absorption and then expelling the excess.
Pretty clever, right?
It is. But doesn't messing with your blood sugar like that come with some unpleasant side effects?
It can, which is why Dr. Kaufmann is adamant about finding the right dosage for each individual and working closely with a healthcare professional.
It's all about personalized medicine.
Exactly. And she also emphasizes that these interventions are not a free pass to indulge without limits.
Right. It's about damage control, not erasing the consequences completely.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the carb blockers and the SGLT2 inhibitors. Is there anything else in Dr. Kaufmann's anti-sugar toolbox?
Oh, there's more. She also recommends metformin.
Metformin, isn't that for type 2 diabetes?
It is, but it also has shown potential anti-aging benefits, particularly in relation to, you guessed it, mitochondrial function.
So it's a multitasker when it comes to longevity.
Exactly. And she also includes pioglitazone in her protocol. It's another diabetes medication that works by increasing insulin sensitivity.
So she's really honing in on optimizing how our cells utilize glucose.
Precisely.
It's all about efficiency, right?
Right. But you mentioned two more interventions that caught my attention. Hydralazine and lactoferrin. They don't sound like your typical blood sugar regulators.
They're definitely more on the unconventional side. Hydralazine is typically used for high blood pressure, but Dr. Kaufmann uses it to prevent the formation of those harmful advanced glycation end products, or AG.
AGs, right. Those are the nasty compounds that form when sugar molecules bind to proteins.
Exactly. They're linked to everything from wrinkles and stiff joints to heart disease and Alzheimer's.
A real recipe for accelerated aging.
So how does hydralazine help?
It acts like a decoy for sugar molecules, preventing them from binding to proteins and forming those harmful AGEs.
So it's like a shield protecting our proteins from sugar damage.
Precisely. And then there's lactoferrin.
Okay, what does lactoferrin do?
It's a protein found in milk and other bodily fluids, and it has this incredible ability to bind to and remove AGs that have already formed.
So it's like a cleanup crew for those sugar-damaged proteins.
Exactly.
It sounds like Dr. Kaufmann has a truly multifaceted approach to tackling the detrimental effects of sugar.
It really is. She addresses both prevention and damage control.
Fascinating. But I'm also really curious about this NAD+ thing she mentioned. Isn't that supposed to be some kind of longevity superstar?
It is. NAD plus A, which stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, is like a vital spark plug for hundreds of enzymatic reactions in your body. It plays a crucial role in DNA repair, energy production, and cellular communication, all processes that are essential for healthy aging.
Okay, I'm starting to understand why it's such a big deal in the longevity world. But the problem is we lose NAD+ as we age, right?
Exactly. And that decline in NAG+ is associated with a whole host of age-related issues, from fatigue and cognitive decline to increased inflammation and a higher risk of disease.
So logically, boosting our NAD+ levels seems like a key strategy for healthy aging. But I know there are different types of NAD+ supplements out there. How do we know which one's right for us?
That's a great question, and we'll definitely dive deeper into the world of NAD+ supplementation in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, looking forward to that. But before we move on, I just want to touch on one more thing Dr. Arnston mentioned. She talked about the importance of choosing high-quality algae products and specifically highlighted energy bits.
It's a great point. With any supplement, quality is paramount. You want to make sure you're getting a product that's pure, potent, and free of contaminants. Energy Bits seems to be committed to those standards, which is definitely reassuring.
Right. It makes sense to be discerning about where you get your algae from, especially with the potential for microcystin contamination.
Totally.
I just want to say that I'm absolutely blown away by everything we've covered so far. From the power of raw spirulina to Dr. Kaufmann's unconventional approach to biohacking, this has been an incredible journey.
I agree. It's amazing how much we can learn when we open ourselves up to new ideas and possibilities.
Well said. For those listening, stay tuned for part 2, where we'll continue our exploration of NAD+ and delve deeper into Dr. Kaufmann's fascinating strategies for optimizing your health span and lifespan.
We'll also explore some of the latest research on stem cell therapy and other cutting-edge longevity interventions. It's going to be a wild ride.
I can't wait.
So, it's fascinating how Dr. Kaufmann can, reconcile her love for Diet Coke and cupcakes with, her deep knowledge of aging pathways.
Right.
It's like she's found a way to, have her cake and eat it too, literally.
It is definitely unconventional, but I think it speaks to her philosophy of finding, a sustainable balance. Mm-hmm. She's not about strict deprivation, but rather about, understanding the science and using that knowledge to make informed choices.
Oh, right.
Even when indulging.
Absolutely. And Dr. Kaufmann is a master at using her expertise to mitigate the, potential downsides of those indulgences. Mm-hmm. She has a strategic plan for everything.
Which brings us to, another intriguing aspect of her approach.
Okay.
What she calls hacking sugar cravings.
Right.
She really dives deep into how to manage those sweet temptations.
Yeah, this is where her knowledge of pharmaceuticals really shines,
Okay.
She has this incredible ability to combine her understanding of aging pathways with specific interventions to minimize the negative effects of sugar.
So let's say I have a major sweet tooth.
Uh-huh.
And I'm, about to face a dessert buffet. What would Dr. Kaufmann's game plan be?
Well, first, she'd likely recommend a carb blocker, like a carbose.
A carb blocker.
Yeah, think of it as setting up a roadblock for those like incoming sugars.
Okay.
A carbose works by inhibiting the enzymes that break down carbohydrates in your gut, which helps prevent that rapid surge in blood sugar.
That makes sense. Slowing down the absorption of sugar seems like a smart first step.
Right.
But what happens to all that sugar that doesn't get absorbed? Does it just hang out in your system?
That's where SGLT2 inhibitors or flavonoids come in.
Okay.
They essentially act like bouncers, escorting that excess sugar right out of your body.
Okay.
They work by blocking the reabsorption of glucose in your kidneys, so the sugar gets flushed out through your urine.
So it's like a two-pronged attack.
Right.
Blocking absorption and then expelling the excess.
Exactly.
Pretty clever.
Yeah, it is pretty clever.
But doesn't, messing with your blood sugar like that come with some, unpleasant side effects?
It can, which is why Dr. Kaufmann is adamant about finding the right dosage for each individual and working closely with a healthcare professional.
Right. It's all about personalized medicine.
Exactly. It's all about personalized medicine. And she also emphasizes that these interventions are not a free pass to indulge with abandon.
Right. It's about damage control.
Right.
Not erasing the consequences entirely.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the carb blockers and the SGLT2 inhibitors. Is there anything else in her anti-sugar arsenal?
Oh, there's more. She also recommends metformin.
Metformin, isn't that for type 2 diabetes?
It is, but it also has shown, potential anti-aging benefits, particularly in relation to, you guessed it, mitochondrial function.
Metformin, that's the one that's been making headlines in the longevity world, right?
It's the one, it seems to be a real multitasker when it comes to promoting healthy aging.
Right.
But Dr. Kaufmann doesn't stop there.
Oh, no.
She also includes pioglitazone in her protocol. It's another diabetes drug that works by increasing insulin sensitivity.
So she's really honing in on optimizing how our cells utilize glucose.
Exactly. It's all about efficiency, right?
Right.
Right. But you mentioned two more interventions that really piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
Hydralazine and lactoferrin, they don't sound like your typical blood sugar regulators.
Yeah, they're definitely more on the unconventional side.
Right.
Hydralazine is typically used for high blood pressure. But Dr. Kaufmann uses it for a very specific purpose.
Okay.
To prevent the formation of those harmful advanced glycation end products, or AGEs that we talked about earlier.
AGEs, right. They're those nasty compounds that form when sugar molecules bind to proteins and wreak havoc in our bodies.
Exactly. I've read they're linked to everything from wrinkles and stiff joints to heart disease and Alzheimer's.
Exactly. A real recipe for accelerated aging.
So how does hydralazine help?
By using hydralazine to prevent AGE formation,
Yep.
Dr. Kaufmann is essentially tackling one of the root causes of aging.
So it's like setting up a protective barrier.
Exactly. And then there's lactoferrin.
Okay, what does lactoferrin do?
Lactoferrin is actually a protein found in milk and other bodily fluids. And it has this remarkable ability to bind to and remove AGEs that have already formed.
So it's like a cleanup crew.
Exactly.
Coming in after the damage is done and mopping up those harmful AGEs.
Exactly.
It sounds like she has a really comprehensive approach to minimizing the detrimental effects of sugar.
It really is a multifaceted strategy, blending conventional and unconventional approaches.
Right.
And it highlights the importance of thinking outside the box and understanding the, intricate workings of our bodies.
Totally agree. But before we move on from her wisdom,
okay,
there's one more crucial element to her longevity protocol that we need to unpack.
Right.
NAD plus.
Yes, NAD plus I.
Yeah.
The superstar molecule of longevity.
Right.
It's involved in so many vital processes, from DNA repair to energy production. It's like the lifeblood of our cells, but here's the catch.
Okay.
We naturally lose NAD plus as we age.
Right. I remember you mentioning that earlier, and that decline is linked to a whole cascade of, age-related issues.
Exactly.
So replenishing our NAD plus levels seems like a no-brainer for healthy aging.
It does.
But with all the different types of NAD plus supplements out there, it's hard to know where to start.
Right.
There's NR, NMN, straight NAD plus. It's a bit overwhelming.
I hear you. It's definitely a complex topic, but don't worry, we'll break it down.
Okay.
The key is to understand the differences between these various forms of NAD plus supplementation and how they work in your body.
Okay, so let's dive in. What's the deal with NR or nicotinamide riboside?
NR is a precursor to NAD+, meaning it's a building block that your body can use to create more NAD+.
It's like providing the ingredients for an NAD+ factory within your cells.
Exactly. And studies have shown that NR is quite effective at raising NAD+ levels. Now, NAN, or nicotinamide mononucleotide, is another precursor to NAD+, but it's actually one step closer to NAD+ in the metabolic pathway.
So it's like a more advanced building block.
Precisely.
Closer to the finished product.
Precisely. And some research suggests that NMN might be even more efficient than NR at increasing NAD+ levels. But then we also have the option of straight NAD+ supplementation.
Right. So why would someone choose straight NAD+ over one of the precursors?
Straight NAD+ can be administered intravenously or through injections. Which means it bypasses the need for conversion in the body and delivers NAD+ directly into your bloodstream.
So it's like a direct deposit into your cellular bank account.
Exactly. And this direct delivery can lead to a more rapid increase in NAD+ levels, which can be beneficial for certain conditions.
So it seems like choosing the right form of NAD+ supplementation.
Yeah.
Depends on, individual needs and goals.
Absolutely. And it's crucial to work with a knowledgeable healthcare professional to determine the optimal dosage and form of NAD+ for you.
Makes sense.
As well as to monitor for any potential side effects.
Right. But she also stressed the importance of understanding how NAD+ metabolism interacts with other processes in our bodies. She mentioned something about CD38 POPs and NMT. Can you shed some light on those?
Of course, these are key players in NAD+ regulation and inflammation. CD38, for example, is an enzyme that actually consumes NAD+.
So as we get older and experience more inflammation, we're losing NAD+ at a faster rate, and then CD38 comes along and gobbles up even more.
It's not ideal, but understanding these pathways can help us develop targeted interventions. Dr. Kaufmann, for instance, recommends combining NAD+ supplementation with apigenin, a natural compound found in parsley and celery to help inhibit CD38 activity.
Apigenin to the rescue.
Exactly.
So it's all about finding the right balance and understanding these intricate connections within ourselves.
Absolutely.
But before we get too lost in the world of NAD+ metabolism, let's circle back to a couple of other intriguing topics that she touched on, like stem cell therapy. She seemed a bit cautious about it.
Yes, she expressed some reservations about using poorly sourced umbilical cord stem cells. While stem cell therapy holds great promise for, regenerative medicine and potentially slowing down aging, it's still a relatively new field. And there are potential risks to consider.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. And it's crucial to do your research.
Absolutely.
And choose reputable clinics with high safety standards.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that stem cell therapy is still evolving. And we're learning more about its potential benefits and risks all the time.
But her insights didn't stop there.
No.
She also shared her thoughts on a rather surprising longevity intervention. Lithium.
Lithium. That's right. Lithium is primarily known for its, mood stabilizing effects.
Isn't that typically used to treat bipolar disorder?
That's right.
What's the connection to longevity?
But research has shown that it may also have positive effects on telomere length.
Oh, interesting.
Those protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes that shorten as we age.
And longer telomeres are associated with, slower aging and a reduced risk of age-related diseases.
Exactly.
But there's a catch, right? Something about dosage.
Yes. Finding the optimal dosage is crucial.
Okay.
Too much lithium can interfere with magnesium absorption, which is essential for many bodily functions.
So it's like a balancing act.
It is.
But the potential benefits for longevity are definitely intriguing.
They are.
It just goes to show that sometimes the most unexpected solutions come from exploring seemingly unrelated fields.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the power of scientific inquiry and the importance of keeping an open mind when it comes to longevity research.
Well said, but hold on. She didn't stop there, did she?
No, she didn't.
She mentioned a few other unconventional longevity interventions. You're thinking about pentoxifol involved for microcirculation, Cellbex for heat shock protein activation, Mexidol as a nootropic, and Riola for adapting to hypoxia.
Yes, the woman is a walking encyclopedia of unconventional longevity hacks.
She is.
I'm starting to feel like I need a spreadsheet just to keep track of all these interventions.
It's definitely a lot to absorb, but the key takeaway here is that There are countless paths to longevity.
Right.
And what works best for one person may not work for another. It's all about finding what works best for you under the guidance of a knowledgeable healthcare professional.
Well said. But amidst all these fascinating biohacking strategies, let's not forget about the power of nature and the insights we gained from Dr. Arnston and her work with algae.
Absolutely. We learned about the unique benefits of spirulina and chlorella and their potential to support mitochondrial health, detoxification, and even potentially fight cancer.
And we explored the importance of choosing, high-quality raw spirulina to maximize its effectiveness and minimize potential contamination risks.
Exactly. It's remarkable how these simple organisms can have such a profound impact on our health and longevity.
It really makes you wonder what other secrets nature holds for extending our health span and lifespan. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm curious to hear what stood out to you the most from everything we've discussed. What are you going to explore further?
I'm particularly intrigued by Dr. Kaufmann's, unconventional approach to biohacking. It's inspiring to see someone who isn't afraid to challenge the status quo and embrace both pharmaceuticals and lifestyle interventions to achieve their longevity goals.
I agree. It's a reminder that there's no one-size-fits-all solution to longevity.
Right.
We need to find what works best for us based on our individual needs and goals.
Absolutely. And sometimes that means venturing beyond the conventional and embracing the unconventional while always keeping in mind the importance of scientific research and working with qualified healthcare professionals to ensure our chosen strategies are safe and effective.
Well said. This has been an incredible journey.
It has.
Exploring the worlds of algae, unconventional biohacking, and the latest advancements in longevity research.
It's amazing how much we've uncovered.
It is.
And I'm excited to see what the future holds for the field of longevity.
Me too. It feels like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
I know, right?
And with the rapid pace of scientific discovery, I have a feeling we'll be having many more fascinating conversations about longevity in the years to come.
Me too. It's an exciting time to be alive, especially for those of us who are passionate about extending our, health span and lifespan.
Absolutely. But before we get carried away with the possibilities of the future, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible insights we've gained today. We've explored a wide range of topics, from the power of raw spirulina to the potential of lithium for telomere lengthening.
It has been, mind-blowing.
It has.
Dr. Kaufmann's unique approach to biohacking has definitely, challenged our thinking.
It's been a mind-expanding experience.
It has.
And it's a reminder that the journey to a longer, healthier life is an ongoing adventure. Filled with endless learning and discovery.
Well said. And with that, I think it's time to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive into algae and longevity.
I agree. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I'm sure our listeners are eager to process all this information and maybe even start exploring some of these strategies for themselves.
Absolutely. It's a lot to take in, but it's all valuable knowledge that can empower us to make informed decisions about our health and longevity.
So until next time.
Yes.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the realm of longevity.
And remember, the pursuit of a longer, healthier life is a marathon, not a sprint. Pace yourself, enjoy the journey, and never stop seeking new ways to optimize your health span and lifespan.
It's amazing to think about everything we've uncovered in this deep dive into longevity.
It really is.
From those, tiny algae to the intricate workings of our cells. It's incredible how much we're learning about extending our health span and lifespan.
It's like we're just peeling back the layers of this complex puzzle, uncovering the secrets to aging and discovering new ways to optimize our biology.
And one of the most, intriguing pieces of that puzzle, at least for me, is Dr. Kaufmann's unconventional approach to biohacking. I'm still fascinated by her willingness to embrace, both pharmaceuticals and lifestyle interventions.
It definitely challenges us to think beyond traditional boundaries when it comes to longevity. You know, she emphasizes that it's not about, blindly following trends, but rather about understanding the science and using the right tools for the job.
And her toolbox is certainly impressive.
It is.
From carb blockers and SGLT2 inhibitors to metformin, pioglitazone, hydrolysine, and lactoferrin.
Right.
It's like she's assembled an elite squad of anti-aging agents.
She has. It's amazing.
But it's important to remember, it's not just about the pharmaceuticals.
Right.
Dr. Kaufmann also stresses the importance of a holistic approach. incorporating lifestyle interventions like, optimizing sleep, managing stress,
Right.
and engaging in regular physical activity.
It's about creating synergy between like those internal and external factors that influence aging.
Her 7 Tenets of Aging framework really provides a comprehensive roadmap for addressing those multiple dimensions.
It encourages us to look at the big picture
Right.
and consider all the different levers we can pull to optimize our health and longevity.
Speaking of levers, I'm still fascinated by the potential of NAD plus supplementation.
Yes.
It seems like such a promising strategy for boosting, cellular health.
Yeah.
And potentially slowing down the aging process.
NAD plus plays such a pivotal role in so many vital processes within our cells. It's involved in DNA repair, energy production, cellular communication. Essentially, it's like the fuel that keeps our cellular engines running smoothly.
But as you mentioned earlier, our NAD plus levels naturally decline as we age,
Right.
which contributes to all sorts of age-related issues.
They do.
So boosting those levels seems like a logical step toward healthy aging.
Absolutely. But with all the different forms of NAD plus supplementation available,
Right.
NR, NMN, straight NAD plus, it can be confusing to know which one is right for you.
It is. It can be.
It's definitely a complex topic.
Let's try to, break it down again, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Could you remind us about the, key differences between these various forms of NAD plus buck?
Of course, NR, or nicotinamide riboside, and NMN, or nicotinamide mononucleotide, are both precursors to NAD+.
Okay.
They're like the building blocks that your body uses to create more NAD+ naturally.
So it's like giving your cells the raw materials
Uh-huh.
they need to manufacture their own NAD++.
Exactly. And both NR and NMN have been shown to be effective at raising NAD+ levels.
Okay.
The main difference lies in their position within the metabolic pathway.
Okay.
NMN is one step closer to NAD+ than NR.
Right.
And some research suggests it might be slightly more efficient at boosting those levels.
Interesting. So NMN is like a more streamlined pathway to NAD plus production.
Precisely.
But then we also have the option of straight NAD plus supplementation. So why would someone choose straight NAD plus over one of the precursors?
Straight NAD+ can be administered intravenously or through injections,
Okay.
which bypasses the need for conversion in the body.
Uh-huh.
It's like delivering a direct boost of NAD+ right into your bloodstream.
So it's a more immediate and targeted approach.
Yes.
Compared to the precursors.
Correct.
But didn't Dr. Kaufmann also caution about the importance of understanding how NAD plus
Yes.
interacts with other processes in our bodies?
She did.
She mentioned, certain enzymes like CD38 and PRPs and NAD plus regulation and inflammation.
She did. CD38 in particular acts as a consumer of NAD+.
Yeah.
You can think of it as a little NAD+ Pac-Man gobbling it up.
And as we age, our CD38 activity tends to increase, right?
It does.
So we're not only losing NAD plus naturally, but this enzyme is also working overtime to deplete it even further.
It's not a good combination.
Not a good combination at all.
But the good news is that there are interventions that can help mitigate these effects. For example, Dr. Kaufmann recommends combining NAD plus supplementation with apigenin,
Right.
that natural compound we discussed earlier,
Uh-huh.
which can inhibit CD38 activity.
Apigenin to the rescue. So
Sure.
It's all about finding the right balance and understanding these intricate connections within our cells.
Exactly. It highlights the complexity of our biology.
Right.
And the interconnectedness of all these different processes within our bodies.
Right. It's not just about addressing one thing in isolation. It's about optimizing the entire system.
Exactly.
I couldn't agree more. But before we wrap up our deep dive,
Yes.
I want to take a moment to reflect on the, incredible journey we've been on.
It has been a journey.
We started with the humble algae,
Right.
exploring its surprising potential for boosting mitochondrial health and even fighting cancer.
It is amazing what those tiny organisms can do.
It is.
Then we ventured into the world of unconventional biohacking,
Yeah.
discovering Dr. Kaufmann's unique strategies
Right.
for mitigating the negative effects of sugar and optimizing NAD+ levels.
It's been an eye-opening experience.
It has.
And it's a testament to the fact that there are many paths to longevity. And we're constantly learning more about the vast potential that lies within each of us to extend our health span and live more vibrant lives.
We are.
So for all our listeners out there who are, passionate about longevity
Yeah.
and eager to explore these possibilities further, I encourage you to keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep challenging the status quo.
Because the journey to a longer, healthier life is an ongoing adventure.
Right.
And it's one that we can all embrace with curiosity and a sense of wonder.
Well said. And remember, you can find more deep dives into the science of living longer at 1337podcast.com.
Right.
We're constantly exploring new research, interviewing fascinating experts, and uncovering the latest strategies for optimizing your health span and lifespan.
It's an exciting time to be in the longevity field.
It is.
Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible deep dive into algae and longevity. We've had a blast exploring these fascinating topics with you.
Until next time, stay curious, stay healthy, and keep striving for a longer, more vibrant life.
Yes.
See you on the next deep dive.
See you then.
Strength and honor. I am Spartacus.
Thanks for watching. Tap into 1337podcast.com.